Welcome to today's briefing. My name's Aaron. Things are shaking out at Austal, USA down there in Mobile, Alabama. This shipbuilding facility can't get out of its own way. So let's review this troubled shipyard. Austal, USA is the shipyard that builds the aluminum-hulled Independence-class LCS, the U.S. Coast Guard offshore cutters, the Spearhead expeditionary fast transports, and the new USNS Navajo class. So the Navajo class tow, salvage, and rescue ship is steel-hulled. This required a new steel production line for Austal, USA. This new steel production line is the focus of today's briefing. So our story begins all the way back in June 2020. The U.S. government agrees to invest $50 million into this shipyard to convert from aluminum shipbuilding to steel. Austal is expected to match an additional $50 million as necessary to complete the conversion to the steel shipyard production line. This was the contract signed in 2020. It was a brilliant deal by Austal because they're bringing on a $100 million steel production facility and convinced the U.S. government, the taxpayer, to pay the first $50 million of it. The shareholders were celebrating. Life was good. Okay, but fast forward to July 2023. The parent company of Austal USA is Austal Limited, and they published an earnings forecast update. The earnings were reduced from 58 million Aussie dollars, good dollars, to an expected range of zero profit or, God forbid, a potential loss of $10 million at this one shipyard. So this left shareholders sad and confused. What will happen to their second yacht or that home in Cabo? Will they be able to keep both the gardener and the pool boy? These are tough decisions. The Austal stock plummeted in value to the point to where Austal requested a trading hold so people couldn't buy and sell it anymore. It was losing value so fast, and it's not looking good for the pool boy at this point. But all is not lost, ye shareholder. Let's take a closer look at the earnings forecast update for July 2023. What does the company claim is causing this loss of earnings? Well, they list a few things. First is efficiency assumptions of steel manufacturing not being realized, general inflation, labor hours, labor payroll, overhead cost and recovery, those are indirect cost, and then changes in specification, and this one's key. Hold on to that one. So this has led to a request for equitable adjustment to seek recovery of additional cost, and they want to modify the 2020 contract with this REA. So what is a request for equitable adjustment? According to the Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation Supplement 252.243, if you're following along at home, is the contract adjustment for which the contractor believes the government is liable for. This is your fault, not our fault. $50 million wasn't enough. We need more money. So let's put all this together and review the causes for the loss of earnings and which of these are liable by the government. Put your ideas, your suggestions in the comments as to which one of these the government is responsible for. Is it the lack of efficiency realized by steel manufacturing that they haven't seen yet? Is it general inflation? Is the government responsible for that? Labor hour cost, overhead cost recovery, or change in specification to the contract, to the deliverables, to the ship. So changes in specification probably applies here if the DoD at any time after June 2020 changed anything to the specifications to the Navajo class. This would justify an increase in cost, but they would be limited to just those changes and not everything that they're listing here. So I'll be following these developments, and as the request for equitable adjustment is processed, we'll let you know how much of your tax dollars are becoming Austal profits. All right, let's shift gears to Big Z. Big Z's the Zumwalt is leaving its former home port of San Diego and going to Pascagoula, Mississippi. That's where Ingalls Shipyard has been contracted to finish some repair work that's kind of fallen behind. And once they're done with that, they're going to begin installing the hypersonic weapon system in the bow. They're going to rip out those two guns that never really worked with the ammunition that we couldn't afford, and we're going to put some hypersonic weapons in there. When complete, the Zumwalt will be the most lethal large surface combatant in the world. So Ingalls Shipyard has been awarded also, in addition to the Zumwalt work, 6 of the next 9 Arleigh Burke construction contracts. So good job, Ingalls, man. They are really busy down there. So if you're looking for work in southern Mississippi, I would check out the Ingalls Shipbuilding website because they're probably hiring right now. All right, so that's 6 of 9. The other 3 are being constructed at General Dynamics Bath Ironworks up in Bath, Maine. All 9 of these Burkes will be constructed and finished by 2027. So the Arleigh Burke destroyers are our most versatile surface combatants. They carry the best sensors with the best communications and a huge weapons payload. They're a very good ship. I would argue the best destroyer in the world. It's certainly better than anything coming out of communist China today. Hey, Gene, I think the shareholders should go on strike. Against themselves, yeah. They're not being treated properly. They need more profits. Isn't it brilliant how you can get the government to pay for half of your shipyard production line? That is crazy. But that's the way it's done, man. That is not an anomaly. That is how it's done now. Did you hear about Fitch? Fitch downgraded the United States from a AAA investment to a AA+. Yeah, I don't think Fitch knows who he's messing with. The United States dollar isn't backed by just our government. It's backed by the military. So I think Fitch is going to get a visit. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens to Fitch. We'll probably never hear of Fitch again. Fitch might be gone now. Fitch might already be gone.